Hey guys, welcome back to Intro to Coding. In this video, we're going to go over dictionaries, also called maps in some other languages. But yeah, a dictionary is super useful. You will kind of see how useful it actually can get in order to just like store a lot of different types of information, like contact information or anything, to be honest. It's super useful. So let's jump into it. Boop. Here we are. This is just exactly what we had before. I just commented out everything we had again with the block quotes here. So same file and everything. So let's keep going. So dictionaries, dictionary, or sometimes called a map. It is ordered and mutable. Okay, just so that, I'm making everything clear because we said it for the other ones. So let's define our first dictionary. So var1 equals, so far you might be thinking, so wait, we're just making a set here? Kind of, but not exactly. So a dictionary is also uses these curly brackets, but what a dictionary does is it actually has one value as being what's called the key, and another thing, I shouldn't say value. It has one thing that's called the key and one thing that's called the value. So in this case, we could say like type is the key and the value is like food. Okay, we can space this out as much as we want to as well. So this is our first dictionary. So we have like a type, or sorry, we have a key, which is type, and the value, which is food. You could kind of think like dictionary as though you're looking something up in the dictionary. I guess people just use Google now, but looking something up in the dictionary, you're looking for the word, and you're looking. Then once you found the word, you get the meaning. So this is like the word, and this is the meaning. So let's print out var1 and see what we get here. Type food. Okay, great. So what if we want to get whatever the value is here? Well, we can do type. Look at that. It already knows what we want. Type. Now we print this out. We get food. Okay, great. This, that seems pretty simple. So one of the things that differentiates how these are kind of defined is that a lot of times people will kind of lay them out in terms of their code to look like this. The reason for this is because it's just a lot cleaner to understand which is the key and which is the type. Because when you add multiple things to your dictionary, for instance, we have the type food here, and maybe the name of it is an apple, and its price is 55 cents. I don't really know exactly. I feel like that's probably expensive, but I have no idea. So now let's print our var1 and see what happens. Type food, name, apple, price 55 cents. Perfect. So if we had all these on one line, you could still read it, but it would be a little bit more difficult to read, whereas now it's very obvious, right? This is just type food, name, apple, price 55 cents. You can look at it super quick and understand it exactly what's going on. Same thing here. If we want to get the price, we can just do price and print it, and there we go. We get our 55 cents. What if we want maybe a bit more of a complicated version of var1 here? Maybe we're making a grocery list app, and we want to make sure we can keep track of things that people are providing for the list. So we can say a list, and we can make it an array, or a list, an actual list here. So we can make it apple, banana, and then we can add the store, grocery, store. Then we can even give an address, but guess what? An address has multiple parts. So what would be a good way to hold multiple parts of an address for data? why not another dictionary? That makes sense to me. So now we have an address, and we can say the street is 123 Fake Street, and the city is Hill Valley. Hill Valley. Okay, great. So what if we print out this var1? Boom, we get the whole thing. So let's just go over really quickly what we have here. So we're creating a variable called var1. This one is kind of, it's gone now. We don't care about it anymore. So it's not gone, it's still there, but it would be declared, and then this one would be declared overriding this. So this one's kind of irrelevant. So this case, we're creating a dictionary. It's going to hold a bunch of things here. It's going to hold a key that is called list. The list's value is actually a list, which is a list that we can reference. And in this list, we have an apple and a banana. We then have another key called store. And in this key, we have a string called grocery store. Then we have another key called address, which itself has a value of a dictionary. And then inside this address dictionary, we have a key called street, and we have a value of a string, 123 Fake Street, and we have another key called city with a value of Hill Valley. Now, say we want to get the address here, we can say the address, right? And then like when I had talked about kind of like lists within lists before, we could then ask for the street, because we're basically referencing this here. So we're referencing this entire thing, all the keys that could exist for the first dictionary. We're getting to the first, we're basically grabbing this when we're referencing this. So we're now referencing whatever its value is, but its value itself is a dictionary, which means it's basically the same as if this itself was its own variable, and now we're referencing it. So if we want to reference values within this variable, now we need to reference a new key. So this is equivalent to just like having this being its own variable, and we're calling it itself. So now we're calling street, and when we print this, we get our 123 Fake Street. All right, now say we want to print our list here. var1 list. Okay. And bam, we get our apples and banana. Now, what if we want to add something to our list? Maybe we're going shopping and we want to add something to the list. We can say var1 list. And now it's just like we're accessing the list itself. So we can do append. And we can add a cupcake. And now if we copy and print out the list again, bam, now we have a cupcake in our list. Perfect. The dream. Okay, that's perfect. Now what if, maybe we have this whole like setup here. We're pretty happy with it. But maybe we want to add some other data. Maybe we have new data that we feel like we could add. So what if we have it, we can see, again, if we do the dot, we can see some of the things it supports. So let's see what update can do. We can provide a new set of keys and values, and that will be updated into this variable. So let's say we are tracking popularity of the location, and we can set the popularity of this place, grocery store, to be super popular. It is number 9. And maybe actually it's not the grocery store. Maybe we're changing the grocery store to be the cool grocery store. So it's, even more exciting. So let's see what happens when we run this. Let's print out var1 and see what happens. Bam. It's very hard to read, but what we have here is we have our list. We still have our apple, banana, and our cupcake in our list. Our store is now the cool grocery store. The address is still 123 Fake Street and Hill Valley, and you can see the popularity is 9. So now we've added to our dictionary, we're good to go. Another thing you can do is actually print out all of the keys of a dictionary. So if we print out var1.keys, we can print, and we can see that the dictionary keys are list, store, address, and popularity. Okay, if we instead want to print out the items or the values of these, we can print this, and we can get the list. So it's of type list. It is an the name is list. It is the actual list itself. So these are basically like each item as though it was like a tuple, I guess you could kind of say. So it's like a list of tuples depending on the value itself, depending on like the keys and values of the store or of the dictionary. Apologies. Okay. What if we're just like, okay, this is fine, but we don't want anything in here anymore. Let's just clear it and print it again. It is now empty. We now have an empty value here. You can see we actually printed calling this, which just says none. It doesn't return anything or doesn't say anything. We'll get to, again, we're gonna get to functions or methods pretty soon, but you can see that it just is going to say none, which is what we got here. So now we have an empty dictionary. What if we want to add stuff to our dictionary? We can kind of do that again with update and add things as we want. So that is the basics for a dictionary. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about dictionaries or anything from past videos or future videos or anything, please let me know in the comments down below, and I would be very, very happy to help. This is kind of like a passion project to me, making these videos. So yeah, it's fun regardless. If people need help, I'm happy to help them. If they don't need help, it's still fun to make the videos. In the next video, we're going to go over a while loop. While loop. It's very exciting. We can get into some really, really cool stuff doing while loops. And then after that, we are going to go into for loops, which are incredibly powerful as well. Just slightly more complicated in terms of the syntax for it. But yeah, so far, if things have made sense, that's great. Again, if they haven't, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please feel free to smash that like button. It helps out a lot, and it's free, so give it a go. And if you want to be notified for new videos in the series, then please consider subscribing. It is also free, and you can ring that bell if you want actual notifications for your device. That is all. As always, I have been Jake, and remember, never stop learning.